A magical life honoured.
Very, very surprised, totally surprised, because I just had no idea it was coming.
89-year-old escapologist Arthur Coghlan evokes that reaction in audiences.
Do we close this now?
Famously escaping from a locked 44-gallon drum hoisted by a crane on live television.
There it comes!
Unfortunately, I got stuck in the thing and I couldn't get out. And I really thought that was going to be the end of it all.
There he is! Okay.
But the show went on.
I must be the oldest magician in Australia, working magician.
Growing up as a boy in the 60s and 70s and learning to be a dancer, it was a little bit, socially not that acceptable.
Half a century later, the acclaimed dancer and former artistic director of the Australian Ballet is accepting a Companion of the Order of Australia. Perhaps in Byron Bay, or maybe on planet Asgard, Chris Hemsworth couldn't be found to chat about his strong contribution to the performing arts.
I don't have a phone.
He doesn't have a phone.
Send a raven.
Erin Phillips, the superstar, is going to single-handedly keep the Crow season alive.
South Australian sportswoman Erin Phillips has always been a high achiever.
To be acknowledged for both two sports, basketball and football, which have been two big parts of my life, in a state that just loves sport, which was really, really cool.
Good morning, everyone. Charlie King here on Territory Grandstand, broadcasting across the Northern Territory.
Sports presenter Charlie King is being recognised as founder of the No More Family Violence program.
Talking to large groups of men about family violence and child protection, and they came up with some ideas. And I remember being in Yuendamu, and this old man got up, Jackamara Nelson, and he walked across the floor towards me, and he stepped in front of my face and he went, "No more, no more."
Dr. Anne O'Neill's work to end domestic violence stems from utmost tragedy. Her estranged husband shot her, murdered her children, and killed himself.
I got purpose from the fact that, my children weren't going to grow up to change the world, so hopefully their passing could do something to contribute to a positive change in the world.
She formed not-for-profit organisation Angel Hands to help other survivors of trauma.
It's important to just realise you can always do, incremental steps in healing, because life can be good after trauma.
The Queen's Birthday Honours Awards have long been criticised for favouring men. But this year, more women have been honoured than ever before, including the first Tasmanian woman to become a federal magistrate. Governor of Tasmania, Barbara Baker, is a family law specialist and mentor to young female lawyers.
I'm being acknowledged for my contribution towards the administration of justice, but of course I am surprised about it and as I said, very honoured.
Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer Alison McMillan is recognised for her hands-on approach fighting COVID-19. She took on the role in 2019 and leapt into action when the pandemic struck.
This is what nurses do. They go about their business providing advice and reassurance to the community, supporting them when they're unwell.
What I love most about being a scientist is learning new things on almost a daily basis.
Rock star of geology, Emeritus Professor Kurt Lambeck has never stopped asking questions.
Well, yes, that keeps you going. If you knew everything, you'd go retire.
The scientist and Companion of the Order of Australia recipient has a message about the spread of misinformation.
You can't quibble with the basic facts.
From A to Zoo in the honours roll, Cameron Kerr is an animal protection powerhouse.
And that's for climate change, habitat loss, and of course wildlife crime, which are the three big threats to our wildlife.
These guys are looking a little bit keen, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. The conservationist found purpose in the call of the wild, and he has this tip.
Follow your heart, study what you really love, get involved in what's important to you.
And for this year's recipients, what's most important to them and valued by Australia. Tahlia Roy, ABC News.